Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm diving into a new diorama project. An Arabian market scene featuring some interesting figures and even some dinosaurs. I started off by gluing a piece of foam onto this picture frame. I found it at a second-hand shop and this will serve as the base for the diorama. Next I cut out some foam board pieces to create the walls of my buildings. I wanted two different structures to create a narrow street between them. One building would be tall, the other a bit shorter to give us some nice height variation. After gluing the walls together, I moved on to adding details like doors. For these I used some balsa wood and matchsticks. I cut them into size and glued them on with some hot glue. I also added some beads from a diamond painting kit to create decorative accents and made a door handle out of a nail. I wanted to add a traditional wooden necklace balcony. For this I made the frame using matchsticks and filled the sides with thin sheets of balsa wood. I also added some windows all over the buildings. They are again made out of matchsticks. And I added some small wooden beams made out of balsa wood sticking out of the structures. This gives everything way more detail. For the texturing of the buildings, I mixed some Mod Podge, plaster and brown paint, making sure that it becomes a thick paste. Then I applied a thin layer using a spatula all over the structures. I kept the layer uneven to resemble dried mud that's slowly chipping away. Once the paste had dried, I painted everything in a base coat of yellow. Unfortunately, my paint was a bit too old and didn't cover well, so I had to order some new paint that actually made a good base coat. After that, I dry brushed the surface with a sand colored paint to bring out the textures, and painted all the wood in a dark brown. For carpets and an awning, I cut some small fabric sheets and coated them in a mix of paint and Mod Podge. This made them hard once dry. I added some straw to the lattice balcony roof, trimming it to shape and making sure it's a bit more spread out. I wanted to add a small garden on top of the tall building. I used some Vallejo mud texture to create some dirt and some flocking to resemble grass. I also planted a small tree I found at my local hobby store. For some natural touches, I added fake sheep moss to the smaller building, mimicking ivy and rose bushes. Some sponge flocking made for great flowers resembling the roses. I spent quite a bit of time painting all the models for this diorama, so I want to take a moment here to thank all of you for watching. I'm aiming to releasing a video every 2 weeks, so stay tuned for more projects like this if you're interested. I also added some fine sand to give the diorama a little bit more detail. For the final step, I glued everything in place using some super glue and activator to speed up the drying process. Thanks again for joining me on this project. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed building it. Now on to the final product.